obviously the government's going to have to play quite a central role here, and Marku earlier referred to the fact that maybe government doesn't recognise all the implications from having made New Zealand sign an official language. What are those implications in your view, and how confident are you that government will actually do something about those implications?
There is still a lot of work to be done. It's fantastic to have this official language, a recognition of our language, but there is still a need to have a New Zealand Sign Language strategy with deaf leadership in that. We need all government agencies to work together. At the moment, it's very frustrating because these barriers are encountered time and time again by deaf people at different fronts. So it's important to have that cooperation and also to introduce New Zealand Sign Language at a more fundamental level in education. And hopefully this will happen soon.
What talks are you having with government? I use the word talks probably ill-advisedly, but what communication are you having with government, both officials and politicians, that would get that process started or at least underway?
We've already had discussions with the Minister for Disability Issues, Paula Bennett, and of course with the Honourable Tariana Turia. I'm having conversations with her very soon, and I think she will be a strong support for our community. She, of course, referred to the similar journey that Te Reo Māori had to New Zealand Sign Language, and so I think she'll be a strong campaigner for us in Parliament. This week, all the offices of the Deaf Aotearoa have invited their MPs to start talking about what can happen in the future. And it's important to have this heightened awareness and to make sure that people accept the responsibility to make it happen. We can't leave everything to deaf people, to the deaf community themselves to do. We need that broader communication and broader cooperation.
You show a lot of optimism, and I personally like to be an optimist myself, but there has been some cynicism in the wider disability community about the fact that there's now a ministerial committee that's been set up, and rather than action around what the support needs of disabled people are in general. Do you share that cynicism, or are you more hopeful?
I will be watching with interest.
Because I guess the risk is that we simply get another talk shop, again using that word ill-advisedly, but another people sitting around chatting. I mean, how will you ensure that deaf people, as part of a leadership of disabled people, make sure that they're at the table?
Well, that's a good point. We were hoping to set up the relationship with Minister Paula Bennett and have regular contact. The biggest issue at the moment really is the implications, the actual implementation of the New Zealand Sign Language Act. This year we definitely need to get movement on that, but we will.
Now, I've noticed, of course, that you've rebranded the organisation to Deaf Aotearoa New Zealand. What was behind that move?
It's a reflection of the new times, the fact that we're looking ahead now, that we're able to be confident and stand on our own feet as deaf people. And the logo also reflects that we have the different languages recognised. We have English and we have Māori, and now the butterfly as a symbol of what deaf people are and what New Zealand Sign Language is there as well. It's now also a reflection of the multicultural status of New Zealand, including, say, Pacific Island and the other communities that I mentioned. And it shows that we're right there.
How does the butterfly symbolise that?
The reason we chose that logo is, well, most butterflies are actually deaf themselves, biologically. And the other idea is that butterflies are beautiful. It's wonderful, and New Zealand Sign Language and the sign language in general has that impact on people. When they see it, they think it's a beautiful way of expressing yourself. And a butterfly reflects the idea of independence and freedom. And with sign language, deaf people are free to determine our own lives, to have access to information, to education. It allows us, well, I think Marku expressed it beautifully today. He talked about the butterfly from the heart, free to fly, and I thought that was a beautiful image.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
It's been good to be, again, part of the ceremony and the celebrations of New Zealand Sign Language. And I'd also like to acknowledge that for the first time, Radio New Zealand National, courtesy of our website people and our film crew here, are going to ensure that we have a deaf-only version, visual, on our website. And I think plus we're going to be putting up some of the segments on YouTube, so that we will actually make what normally is a very bad medium for deaf people, in fact an impossible medium for deaf people, which is radio, audio, we make that, it make what we're doing here today it's possible for deaf people to follow and understand. So thanks very much for that happening and for you being part of it.
And I want to congratulate you on that initiative. It's fantastic to make this information accessible to the deaf community. So thank you for that.
And that's Rachel Nobel, who's the Chief Executive of Deaf Aotearoa New Zealand, wrapping up the program for this week. And don't forget to catch the visual version on our website, radionz.co.nz. And then until next time, ka kite anō.